Hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. Today we have a follow-up from yesterday's video. I'm playing as South Africa, allied this time with Dale Tech, while my former ally Maple has swapped to the other side, working with a colonel, of all things, Clemenceau. And my attempt here on Chosin Reservoir, a notoriously difficult map for coordination at least, is to cap Delta, to move up to Bravo, and if I can, push through all the way to Alpha. So in the beginning push we have an XTP-1 Beta 87 and Beta 90. This is the AA and the AT versions working together, as well as some paratroopers and an XH-1 Alpha. Carver support against early bombers, things like that, and we do catch our enemy's paratroopers rather unawares, so XH-1 Alpha is providing good support there, as well as SASF dropped off in an Oryx. And we have reached now the town in Dimitri, but I was a little bit cautious with the paratroopers dropping them off before and having them walk up. Not always the best decision, but there you go. And in the meantime, a couple light units in Bravo, Caspier K-Car headed toward the center, where my ally, Dale Tech, is putting all of his eggs into the Foxtrot basket. Unfortunately, this looks like it's relatively what our opponents are doing as well. Fair number of points there moving up, and our XTPs are just demolishing through the forces of Maple Syrup here at the start. So we've already gotten a couple kills on AA, now we're stunning and killing infantry and IFVs, as well as looking at those T-80s. Each one of these is, of course, 65 points, so good kills if we can get them. My scout helicopter does go down, but we don't need it at this range, and that Beta 90 is going to open up with those Ingwe Sackless missiles to very nice effect. Unfortunately, the Beta 87 is stunned, and I think maybe even lost. Yak 141 coming in from our opponent here, and my Carver is off the field, so unfortunately no retribution for us. At that point, my infantry in the center were largely, well, I mean, they were ambushed. Some of them died, not all of them. But my ally here, Dale Tech, is going to start to struggle. BTR 90s from Maple, BTR 70s from Maple, so of course his attention is relatively well split, but we are able to get that last T-80 kill, and the XTP-1 Beta is worth his weight in gold. Carver coming out, but a little bit too late to catch the 141. So Dale Tech over on the east is trying to secure just a garrison in India, and he's trying to really fight over Foxtrot, but we also have forces from Clemenceau here in Foxtrot as well. It was very clear at this point that there was a coordinated push trying to cap the center zones from them, so I'm trying to gather some sort of comprehensive force and push through to Alpha, but most of my stuff is pretty spread out, and this was a problem for me pretty much the whole game. There's so much land area here, and I lost enough on that initial engagement that I wasn't really able to concentrate forces very well. And Oryx is moving over just because, I mean, if you can get something done, why not? If you can spot something, why not? May as well. No real great loss there. We do find their fob, but not able to find a CV before anything is said and done. Caspier K-Car and Parabat are securing this little intersection, and my hope is to head off any sort of reinforcements from that direction. But Foxtrot has been a bit of a bust, as Dale Tech does lose most of his men. Legion are moving forward as well, and in the fight against Legion 90, I would have expected the Legion to win, but it looks like, it looks like the Legion are not exactly slouches here in combat, although with adequate fire support from the VABs, this is going to turn a little bit against them, and there is helicopter support for the Legion. Maybe that's why they got a bit of an edge at the start, but pretty much everything is pushed out of Foxtrot. Expensive backline stuff now with Protal getting killed as well, and we are very much getting a little bit blown through here. In the meantime, I did lose my XTP Beta 90 to an OSA, so 30 points there. Very, very good helicopter hunter, and really annoying tool to have to come up against at that point. I was really hoping to secure Delta with a little bit more than I've been able to. Of course, we have now capped Bravo, we have capped Delta as well, at least will be shortly, and this is just to try to get some sort of points advantage as we move forward with the game. So I'm going to speed things up just a little bit, as there's a little bit of sitting and staring going on at the moment. We have gotten Parabat in, and I'm trying to use them just to close off this avenue here as best I can. Also wanting to scout Rubicon, and yeah, here's the VDV-90. They ambushed the Caspiers, and, well, this wasn't exactly ideal. I should have moved the Parabat up first, have the Caspiers behind them. That way the Parabat find those VDV, it then managed to survive. In the meantime, Rukot 76 does get a pretty cheeky kill there, survives a bombing run, and is going to be the focus of our opponent's ire. So that at least is pretty nice. Caspier K-Car as well, trying to move through the back here. I'm hoping maybe I can find an enemy CV that the Caspier can kill. Unfortunately, I think he is spotted, and yes, there's helicopter support going over, trying to get rid of that Caspier, who is going to be moving into the open a little bit too soon. In the meantime, Paddlebot are able to take down VDV, and this is something where I mean, hey, VDV 90 or 20 points, power bot are 15, so shock training against shock training, and South Africa holds a little bit of an edge in that, I would say, at least right now. Ruakot getting another kill, but we'll see if he can take on whatever the heck that is. I think it was a tank of some sort. Unfortunately, not able to do that too well. So Casper K-Card is getting killed, spotted by an MI1, and killed by a BTR-70. Potterbot, meanwhile, still trying to cut off this avenue, but it's not even really being that useful. It hasn't had the chance to fire any of its RPG-7s. Potterbot, meanwhile, are getting a little overwhelmed. T-80s, I mean, I had never really used T-80s before this. I've now added them to my Soviet deck because for 65 points, I mean, the amount of utility you get out of something like this is pretty amazing in terms of just dissuading aggression and providing a backbone to some pushes. Carver does get a nice kill on a Yak, but unfortunately is just absolutely mobbed by Clemenceau and taken down. I do also lose a Buccaneer that had been trying to head in and provide some fire support there. Is that really fire support? I guess ATGM support. It's a little unclear. In the meantime, Dale is trying to secure India, but the issue for us is that with Fox and Echo held by our opponents, it doesn't really matter. So, I mean, yeah, I have Delta and Bravo, and he has India, but if we lose our hold on any one of these, it's going to be an issue, and the center zone is, I'd say, a little bit easier to keep control of than, I mean, all of this on two different sides while our opponents are coordinating and working together pretty well in the center. So, a little bit of an unfortunate situation for us at the moment. Potterbot, however, and Caspeters are able to finally get that situation under control. We were able to at least push back that T-80, and the Caspeters can never underestimate a cheap autocannon like this, taking down a helicopter and providing some decent utility there. And yeah, it looks like we found our T-80 friend. Now that there is a Ruakot 76 up on this ridge, my hope is he'll be able to spot and kill things before they're able to spot him. Yes, he's in open ground, but short range like that with the excellent optics that he has, well, not excellent, but I think they're, yeah, very good optics that he has, will be able to dramatically increase the AP off of that gun, because of course, shorter range with kinetic ammunition does increase your AP value, but I mean, 12 AP, maybe I was hoping for a little bit too much. In the meantime, J7H coming in, and this was a mistake on my part, as that bomb is headed directly for my command infantry. So this was in fact pinged by my opponent as probable location of the CV, and he's right. I mean, it was a little predictable, and it's costly because of it. SAF 90 just barely managing to get out before another bomb comes in and demolishes that town. Had I been looking over here, maybe I would have been able to save the CV, but as it was, I was trying to check out what was happening over on the east, maybe seeing if I could help my ally a little bit to recover from that beating that we're currently taking. And now our enemies have a +2, so I've lost whole of Delta, and that's enough to have us lose this game, given that we don't have anything in the center of the map. And now this is a wonderful... So some maps, I swear, they feel weighted toward one side or the other, and this ridge always makes me feel like perhaps this side is a little unkind. The reasoning is, yes, it's excellent Overwatch for defense and Foxtrot, but it's too far back for that, really. You don't want to be doing support here if you're moving to the north in this direction. Oh, sorry about that. What you want to be doing is you want to be having forward elements here firing into the neutral zone and into Echo. On the other hand, should the current Red Force side secure Foxtrot, then this provides an excellent buffer zone from which they can protect Foxtrot and fire into the neutral and into India. So this is a very nice position, but not for our team. So, okay, we have moved a couple infantry forward, and I was just trying to maybe pressure through here a little bit, hoping that most of the tools were set up for AA or something like that. Maybe MechInf with Ruakot 76 support would be able to get something done. And he's moving around. I see the T-80. At the time, I didn't realize he was only 65 points. I thought it was probably an 80-pointer from how it was performing, so my own inexperience kind of biting me a little bit there. But the Ruakot 76 is heading over just to try and get a cheeky kill. They got a little bit mixed up with attack orders, unfortunately, and my MechInf are going to suffer for it. Is that a 4HE? Huh, 4HE gun. That's even better fire support than you'd expect off of that size, well, that point cost of vehicle. And my 24 VP is making me second guess a little bit, but I'm a little bit sunk cost fallacy here, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, my MechInf are going to die. Let's just see if I can get a kill on that T-80 to maybe make this worthwhile. Of course, as it stands, the combination of losing these two would be definitely weighted in my opponent's favor, not my own. But here comes the Ruakot, and can we get the kill? Yes, we do get the kill. T80 goes down just in time as I do lose the Ruakot to that. But, I mean, heck, at least we're thinning out his ground forces a little bit. Caspier BV comes in and just trying to recap Delta to get rid of that +2 ticking for our opponents. It's always a tough thing in Conquest to know when you should do that and when you should just kind of let that ticking point value happen and try to get more boots on the ground, tanks on the ground, helicopters and planes in the air. So my judgment on that is perhaps in need of a little bit of refinement, because if you cap something but you can't hold it, you may as well have not capped it, and you need to be able to hold it first. And that's a lesson that I'm still learning, as well as learning how to hold it, which, I mean, I swear, just like Dale, who did very well against me in the previous game and is getting a little bit wrecked in this one, well as, I mean, yeah, I'm not necessarily trading the most effectively, but I have, technically speaking, secured my objectives here in Bravo and Delta. Every game is different, and sometimes what works for you in one game will very much not work in the next, and you have to be able to adapt to that as well. So South Africa, maybe not the best at adapting either. We're very fast, very hard-hitting when we are very fast, but once things settle into the grind, perhaps not the best, because when everything is fragile, it's kind of like the French. When everything is fragile, it's hard to have staying power. And of course, my friend is playing as the French here, so you know. We do actually spot some Li Ren who capture and steal logistics trucks of all things. So I saw that, I pinged it, and we have infantry moving up from Dale to handle it. Chasseurs in the open field, supported by AMXs, will of course kill that Li Ren, particularly when fire support from Leclerc of all things is coming in. But this is really annoying. They actually got away with the logistics trucks, which, that's completely obnoxious. So Dale here being a little cautious. I should have filled out this side myself. I assumed that they wouldn't actually send anyone through, which turned out to be true, but maybe not a good assumption even for that. Ruakot 76 does get a couple cheeky kills here on the back of Foxtrot, but there is an Mi-24 VP there, which will very easily kill him if I'm not careful about it. And you know, I'm moving around so much in this replay just because look at how wide this map is. I really don't quite know where to go. We do kill one of the J7Hs, but the other one unfortunately was able to unload his bombs, and my Cactus Saab is now out of ammunition, and I don't have a supply truck up there, so he's going to be relatively useless. Artillery also coming in, and actually coming in droves now. This is launched from Clemenceau, and he's just clearing out my infantry, trying to clear out my Caspier, and it looks like he might be able to do it too. I mean, a little bit of odd clipping with those rounds going through the mountain, but I mean, that's what you get for a game like this instead of real life where they would have just smacked into the side of it. Kind of wish that they had. It would have saved me a little bit of pain, but part about fighting Motostrelki with support from the Ruakot will be a good engagement for me at least, although a marginal one. And I mean, look at that amount of artillery, just MLRSs trying to do what men and tanks had previously been unable to, but two T-80s coming down the pipe is going to be a bit of a challenge. Parbat, of course, don't have the best AP on their RPGs, more of just 14, 10 round rate of fire, so not exactly excellent anti-armor there, and the Ruakot is still shooting at Motostrelki, doesn't have line of sight on the T-80s, which is going to be a problem, particularly with the Mi-24 VP coming in to support as well. Now, we do find the enemy command infantry and chasseurs and AMX with the Ruakot support are trying to do that. So if we can trade here and we lose Delta but we secure Foxtrot, that at least is a neutral sort of thing for us. I do smoke the position, well no, my enemy smoke position near the Ruakot, and I'm moving up Parabat trying to get anything I can to stem these T-80s from being effective. Mech Imp, however, killed in the Rattle 20s, and my Ruakot goes down, so the T-80s more than useful there. SF-90 are maybe able to get a kill here, but this is really annoying. They fired twice, missed twice, and have a nominal accuracy of 50%. There's the third shot, and it's a miss. I mean, yeah, they're shaken and panicked, and the actual accuracy is 36 and 44. But still, I was hoping for a hit in 4 missiles, and didn't get it. Despite the fact that that does defy the odds pretty heavily. I mean, that's going to happen from time to time, and sometimes you just, well, you roll a 1. Crit fail and all that. But we have managed to neutralize Foxtrot, which is nice, and by we, I mostly mean my ally Dale, although The Rokat's fire support has been pretty key here as well. ZTQ and some enemy tanks and support moving in from the east is going to be a bit of a problem for us as things move forward. Plus, I'm losing my grip on Delta. So, Motostrelki now moving forward, T-80s moving forward as well. A single group of SAF-90 here, a single group of SAF-90 with 2 strength on this side as well. And, I mean, Stinger's going in to kill an Mi-8 MTV is... I mean, yeah, he killed the CV, but that really should have gone in and hopefully worked against that heavier helicopter in the back that's now just going to be providing fire support. My SASF cannot handle. There come the rocket pods and artillery, and yeah, stunned, killed. Very nice offensive from my opponents here. Very well played from Maple, kicking me out of that zone. And at this point, what follows is basically more of the same. We get pushed out of Foxtrot. I fail to recapture Delta, and my ally Dale does surrender. So the game is lost. Thank you very much for watching today. That's all I've got for you at the moment. So, well, we'll see you around real soon.